So, and there are some questions from the audience. Question and question. So the microphone is over there.
So I thought we had finished before.
Yes, on the question that has been raised, my name is Rosa Maria Torres from Ecuador. On the question that was raised about how do we convince politicians to do this and that, wonderful ideas, how do we convince them? I am not sure the verb is convince. I have been a Minister of Education in my country, and I have struggled all my life to change education, not only to improve it. I do believe we need to change education, not only to improve the quality of education, which is the motto, has been the motto for 50 years so far, in my region at least, in Latin America. I don't think politicians don't do what they don't do because of lack of information and lack of evidence. We have enough evidence at this point to show anything that we want to show. The PISA tests have been showing for 9 years so far many things that are very clear, should be very clear at this point. Still, politicians don't pay any attention to the conclusions of those PISA tests. So why do we continue doing them? Why continue doing evaluation studies, etc.? Evidence is there, action is not there. Second, civil society is not only NGOs. I have been struggling with the World Bank, especially for many years, trying to make them understand our civil societies are very complex entities. It's not only NGOs. In Latin America, we have very strong social movements, indigenous movements, youth movements, women's movements, which are far, far bigger and more important than NGOs. I am a firm believer that if we don't change our political cultures, which in turn requires changing education, of course, and if we don't make sure we work towards an informed citizenship, not only NGOs fighting for a different kind of society and a different kind of education. It's the whole of society. It's an informed, aware citizenship that needs to push for strong, important education changes. And that means working with the whole society, not just NGOs.
Thank you very much. That really broadens it. Another comment over here, yeah.
Hi, my name is Salma Musa. I'm a senior at Georgetown here. I have two quick questions. One for Mr. Al-Noaimi. You keep stressing the importance of the being region, cultural, social specific, to certain contexts. But do you think there are any aspects of education that we can apply globally? And secondly, to Mr. Ergud, you mentioned the importance of civil society and engaging NGOs. But what do you recommend for a region like the Arab world, where even after the Arab Spring, civil society is extremely constrained, and the governments pre-approve the lists of NGOs that can operate, especially when they're dealing with very controversial issues like deficiencies in the state and education. They're restricted in their function, shut down, harassed, intimidated. So this severely restricts their ability to operate. So what do you think we can do in the absence of a vibrant civil society in the Arab world?
Excellent. Two very good questions. Mr. Minister, yes.
Thank you very much. Definitely when I said that there is no one recipe for reform success in education in terms of ingredients. That in any way does not mean that we cannot benefit from international and global under what is called best practices, although they are best because of its own context rather than, and this is not a call that definitely they should be copied and pasted. What I meant is that what makes a reform happening within a particular context does not necessarily will make it automatically happen in another environment. So we have to be very careful in adopting certain initiatives and certain practices, because the context within which these practices, has succeeded might not be in other Canada. But definitely there are many practices around the world that could be shared, whether in teacher education, curricular development, initiatives in ICT, even in terms of communication strategy or advocacy strategy, or even building consensus around reform programs. These can definitely be shared. However, but it is not a ready-made recipe where we can take it and implement it. It has to be contextualized. That's why it has to be homegrown. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very tough questions. First of all, I'd like to respond to our honorable minister from Ecuador. We have the same problem, PISA, right? In Turkey, the PISA results have been kept behind closed doors in the Ministry of Education for some time. And through civil society activity, NGO activity, now they are public. I mean, they are now publicizing it. All right? There are I can give you other examples, but I don't have time. It's very difficult to measure the impact of civil society action on policy-making process. If I had time, I could give you case studies. All right? It makes a difference. But patience and long-term vision is very, very important. You don't achieve miracles in a very short period of time. Patience and persistence. I'm coming back to your question, and I'll tie into your comments that I agree, models are not exportable, but lessons can be learned. Now, within that context, I can only talk about our lesson, all right? And then you can draw the conclusion and make the policy consequences, and you can look at other lessons throughout the world to devise a policy for the Arab situation. In the in the stage of political development, social and economic development that Turkey has reached, civil society activity, a more active effective civil society activity is possible. It may not be within the given stage of development of the Arab Spring. That I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't want to generalize. All right? And these are, I think, I'd like to stress that lessons to be learned are extremely important. I think you had one other point. I missed it.
Okay.
So I want to, we are out of time. As I said in the beginning, we have a huge topic and a very small amount of time. I'd like to thank the audience for your attention and your participation. Great thanks to our distinguished panelists, Dr. Al-Naomi, Dr. Egruda, and Dr. Hussein. I hear from the minister from Ecuador the exhortation that the entire citizenry has to get involved in the solution of these problems up and down the food chain, and I relate to that exhortation. I think it's a valid one. And with all due credit to my mentor, Oprah Winfrey, we're going to call this session to a close. Thank you very much.